Hey guys, Glenn here from C3 Southern Beaches, and I thought I'd just share a little bit about how you can experience freedom even in this time of lockdown. Hey, here we're in our second week of lockdown up here in Lake Macquarie, so this hasn't been very long for us. I know some of my friends and my family in the Sydney area and the Central Coast have been locked down for like 7 weeks now. And so I'm trying to get some tips from them on how to do lockdown the best I can. But I thought I'd share for you in this video a little bit on how you can experience freedom, even though you might be physically restricted in your movements and you can't work. Maybe there's a whole bunch of things going on. Maybe there's some financial hardships going on as well during this time for you. So hey, let's get into it. Hey, so I just want to say that that there's a great example of it. Now it says in Acts chapter 16, it says this, that this is talking about Paul and Silas, and Paul and Silas were unfairly arrested, accused of something that they did do, but something that shouldn't have been illegal in any way. I mean, they prayed for a lady who was possessed, and that lady was set free. But the owners of that lady made some money through the fortune telling that this particular young lady was doing. So they were upset about that, and they got a mob together. And it says this, verse 22, a mob quickly formed against Paul and Silas, and the city officials ordered them stripped and beaten with wooden rods. We'll continue on. They were severely beaten, and then they were thrown into prison. The jailer was ordered to make sure they didn't escape. All right. So the jailer put them in the inner dungeon and clamped their feet in the stocks. All right, they're in jail, and not only are they in jail, they've been beaten, and they have their feet in stocks. So they're probably lying on their back, which has just been beaten, and the jail is probably gross. It's probably got it's probably not real clean, and so their open wounds are being, they're laying on their open wounds in an unclean, probably damp, dirty, and disgusting and uncomfortable jail. Right? It says this though in verse 25, and here's where it gets kind of interesting here. So it says, if I can bring it up, here we go. All right, there we go. Around midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God, and the other prisoners were listening. Right, this is midnight. They're singing hymns, and suddenly there was a massive earthquake, and the prison was shaken to its foundations. All the doors immediately flew open, and the chains of every prisoner fell off. How cool is that? Now, I want to say a couple of things about that. When you thank God, when you worship Him, even when you are physically imprisoned, you are free. Paul and Silas were freer than maybe many of us ever free. Even though we could walk on the beach or we could, travel to whatever country we wanted to go to. Obviously we can't do that at the moment, but you know what I'm saying, right? And so the prison that we put ourselves in mentally is worse than the prison that sometimes our circumstances or even a physical prison that we're put into can be worse the prison that we put ourselves into. All right. So the idea that Paul and Silas at that moment, they were already free. I know they weren't physically free, but they were free. And it's interesting though too, when you worship God, when you are thankful to Him for whatever it is that you have going on in your life, whether it's just the smallest little thing that you can be thankful for, your circumstances will sometimes change. You will be free, you'll be freer than ever before, but sometimes, in fact, the physical circumstances change. And not only that, but quite often the circumstances of the people that are around you are affected by your freedom as well. All right, so I want to encourage you guys that if you are in lockdown, I want to encourage you to take this opportunity to actually get closer to Him who can give you freedom, like complete freedom. The Bible says that where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And it says in John 10:10, this is Jesus said this. He said that the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. That part's not a lot of fun to hear, is it, right? But that's true. But the second half of that says that I have come, and it was Jesus talking. He says, I've come so that you may have life and have it to the full. Some translations say, have it in abundance. And I want to encourage you that you can have life in abundance by turning to Him during this time of lockdown. All right, now I know that's not necessarily going to make your circumstances change, but maybe it will. But I encourage you, I know that. So whether you already know Him and you just, haven't really, maybe not spending much time with Him or in the Word or worshiping or thanking Him, right, praying. I want to encourage you to do that, Lord. But there's some of you guys who haven't done that at all, and I want to encourage you to turn to Him. Turn to Him and say, God, I need you in my life. You can even do that right now. God, I need you in my life. Please forgive me for not turning to you earlier. Would you forgive me of the things that I should have done in my life that I haven't? Lord, would you forgive me for those things that I did in my life that I shouldn't have done? The Bible calls that sin, but Lord, would you forgive? Would you forgive us, Lord, when we sin? And God, we thank you for the cross, and we thank you that you've come to bring freedom, even for us when we're locked down, our movement's restricted by health orders and all this kind of stuff, and whether you agree with it or you don't agree with it, the reality is it's happening. And so, but I just want to encourage you, He loves you and He wants to see you free, even when your circumstances suck a bit. All right, God bless you guys. Hey, Glenn here from C3 Southern Beaches, and I'm hoping you're having a great day. Hey, if you want to get in contact with us and you want some prayer for anything, if you want any contact, want someone to give you a call and say good day or anything like that, we'd love to do that. Hey, we also stream our services every Sunday, and you can find out more information about what we do here at C3 Southern Beaches at c3southernbeaches.com.au. All right, catch you guys soon.